Most people don't shrink because they're weak. They shrink because, at some point, being smaller felt safer. And if you've ever wondered, why do I keep doing this? Why you soften your needs? Why you stay quiet when something hurts? Why you adjust yourself just to keep the peace? This video is not here to judge you. It's here to explain you. Because shrinking is not a personality flaw. It's a learned response. You didn't wake up one day and decide to be less. You learned it. Let's talk about where shrinking usually begins. For many people, it starts early. Not always in obvious trauma. Sometimes in subtle moments. Moments where love felt conditional. Where approval came after you behaved a certain way. Where expressing yourself caused tension, distance, or withdrawal. So you adapted. You learned, if I'm easier, I'll be accepted. If I'm quieter, I won't be rejected. If I don't ask for much, I won't lose people. And that strategy worked for a while. It protected you. It helped you belong. It kept relationships intact. So of course you kept using it. Shrinking is often the result of emotional intelligence used for survival. But here's the part most people don't talk about. Shrinking doesn't disappear when you grow up. It follows you into adult relationships. You start choosing partners who need you to stay small. You sense when something is off, but you ignore it. You feel discomfort, but you rationalize it. You tell yourself, I'm being understanding. I'm being patient. I don't want to make a big deal. But underneath that, you're managing someone else's emotions at the cost of your own. And the hardest part? It feels like love. Because shrinking was once how you stayed connected. So your nervous system confuses self-abandonment with intimacy. Let's be very clear about something. You didn't shrink because you didn't value yourself. You shrank because you valued connection. That distinction matters. You wanted closeness. You wanted safety. You wanted to be chosen. And somewhere along the way, you learned that being fully yourself might cost you that. So you edited yourself. Your needs became too much. Your emotions became inconvenient. Your boundaries became selfish. And slowly, you learn to take up less space. But here's the quiet cost of shrinking. When you stay small long enough, you start to disappear even to yourself. You stop trusting your reactions. You second-guess your intuition. You feel disconnected, tired, vaguely resentful. Not because you're ungrateful, but because something essential in you is being ignored. And no amount of love from someone else can fix that. Because the ache you feel isn't about them. It's about you leaving yourself behind. Here's what most people get wrong about healing. They think the answer is to suddenly become louder, more confident, more assertive overnight. But growth doesn't start with force. It starts with safety. Your nervous system needs to learn something new, that you can be honest and still be okay, that you can say no and still be loved, that you can take up space and not be abandoned. This takes time, gentle repetition. Self-trust rebuilt slowly. So if you're listening to this and recognizing yourself, I want you to hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. You weren't broken. You were adapting. And adaptation kept you alive, emotionally. But what once protected you may now be limiting you. And that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're ready for something more honest. You don't need to stop shrinking all at once. You start by noticing. Noticing when you silence yourself. Noticing when you over-explain. Noticing when you say yes but feel no. Awareness is the first act of self-respect. And from there, very slowly, you practice choosing yourself. Not aggressively. Not dramatically. Just truthfully. I'll leave you with this. You didn't learn to shrink because you were weak. You learned because you were perceptive. Because you cared. Because you wanted connection. But the relationships meant for you will not require you to disappear. They will expand with you. And if this resonated, sit with it. You don't need to rush your growth. Quiet truths land when you're ready.